What's going on, you loyal listeners? Thank you for tuning in to the L Squared Podcast. I'm your host here, Luke Larson, and joining me today, again, finally, as per the usual, my very special guest, who will be assisting me in leisurely launching you into levity, Old Legs.
Yes, I've been awakened. I've been awakened to stomping out the tyranny of men. I've been deep under miles of ice, waiting to be released to stomp out.
I think we could call
mankind.
We could call it a slumber
through podcast format.
Yeah, we had
invading your radio waves.
What do they call them? Alphas? Alpha something?
I'm on the fucking alpha frequency.
Yeah.
I'm calling out all you beta cucks.
Wow.
Fucking Joe Rogan, Bill Simmons. Let's go podcast. I'm the alpha now.
Wow.
It's me.
Well,
I'm the alpha. Howard Stern. Let's do it. Who you got?
Mark Maron.
Maron.
We're taking Mark Maron down.
All of them.
Jimmy Pardo. Pete Holmes.
I'm sending it out. I'm sending out the alpha frequency, okay? If you want to go, let's fucking go.
Yeah, we're in Fenway Park, baby.
Yeah.
Come get us.
I'm going live. We're doing it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. No, I'll write it. What does that mean, play us out?
There's no words.
There's no words there. What does that mean to play us out? To end the show? Man, that never gets old.
I love that because I feel like after 20 years of that and just having your ego be inflated by years and years of people pandering to your every whim, I would be exactly like that. I'd probably be worse.
Yeah, no, you would be. Guys, you have no idea how hard it is to work with this thing. If you
we make no money.
Yes, 100%.
No one listens to us, and I am almost completely out of control.
Oh my god, that's just so true.
I can't imagine what would happen if we even tasted just the slightest bit of success.
Oh my word! Yeah, no, that really rings home. So
we're here today, against all odds, and we're talking about Godzilla.
Yeah.
King of all monsters.
King himself. Long live the king.
Yes. Long live the king.
So this still technically counts as the sequel to 2014 Godzilla, right?
Right.
Okay.
It is technically a sequel. I think I don't know what it's got to be maybe. Or what are we in the 30s now? Toho plus all the crappy remakes until they kind of got it right in 2014.
Yeah. So that's one thing is that I think we actually talked about this on maybe the first episode of this podcast, maybe the second. We talked about 2014 Godzilla, and you and I are both fans of it, which it was a little bit divisive, I should say. It was just,
Was it divisive? I feel like a lot of people liked it.
I think it was probably critically liked, but I think it was one of those where when it first came out, people liked it, but then the more time that went on, people trashed it for not having enough Godzilla in it, basically. And
I really liked it. I just like the idea that mankind, they kind of went back to the roots of mankind brought this upon themselves.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I've always liked that theme, and it kind of goes back to the original kind of moniker of Godzilla representing the bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima, and how steeped that just the lore of Godzilla is really ingrained into Japan culture. So I really like that they leaned on that. I like that the Godzilla in the 2014 version was kind of almost like a John Wayne type figure. He's like, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Like, he looked like
he like really was.
It wasn't like peak Godzilla. He didn't look like The Rock.
Right. But he still had some fight in him. He still had some tread on those tires. Yeah. He's a closer.
Then, I guess just to kind of move us through. So, did you see the Shin Godzilla, Godzilla Resurgence in 2016?
No.
The Toho one?
I did not, but I know you told me to watch it.
I really like that one. And that one was like completely different. It was more focused on like the military aspect of how to handle a Godzilla like event. And for some reason it was weird. I like it. It was really affecting just like the Godzilla character. Just you kind of felt like bad for this thing, and he was like an unworthy villain type deal. It was like really, I don't know how they did it. It was just it was like this weird mix of like the score just being phenomenal and just it was like almost like moving me. I don't know. It was weird. I really like Shin Godzilla. And then there's been some random like animated stuff that's actually been kind of good. Like there's like this Godzilla World Eater thing that's like super cool. That's on Netflix. And it's got King Ghidorah and all that good stuff. But
so King Ghidorah.
Yeah, and King Ghidorah in the World Eater joint is, I mean, is really fucking cool. But yeah, I don't know. Should we just get into King of Monsters here and see where we go?
Yeah, I was just gonna say King Ghidorah. That brings us into it. He's always been my favorite of all the Godzilla monsters.
Kind of, like, I've firmly been like a believer that there's never been like a bad Godzilla movie that has King Ghidorah in it. Like they're all my favorites of like, I don't know. I can't say that I've seen all the Tohos. Maybe like I think I've seen like 7 or 8 of kind of the bigger ones, but I've definitely seen all the King Ghidorah ones, and I love them all. I would say besides maybe King Kong, which we're gonna probably get into later on, probably Godzilla's biggest foe. So I was really excited for King of the Monsters of all monsters. Monsters.
Why wasn't it just called Godzilla King of Monsters instead of King of the Monsters?
Yeah,
it's a really annoying the.
Yeah, it's more or that if you're gonna go it's like all of the monsters.
All of the monsters. Yeah.
But
not just he's called Godzilla King of Monsters, not King of the Monsters. Shut up. God, stupid.
Let me ask you this. Were you excited for this film?
No. I mean, I wasn't like.
I was kind of excited for it. I really I wanted it to kind of happen. I was ready.
This was one that somehow like I said, I liked 2014 Godzilla. I was very excited for that one, and I liked it. But this one just kind of, it took a while, and it just never really piqued my interest. And after, after Kong Skull Island, I just kind of had a bad taste in my mouth. Now,
were you in or out on Kong?
So I don't know how I feel about it. Because there are parts of it that I really liked, and I thought that it was really interesting. But then there were parts that I hated, and that I thought just I couldn't stand. So it was kind of tough. But I guess I didn't like the whole the idea of. Yeah, I guess I just didn't like the aspect of how it just felt like. It felt like it was sort of in response to the first Godzilla as well, and a bunch of the fans' complaints that there wasn't enough Godzilla in it, and there wasn't enough action, so it just felt like sort of oh well, whatever you do, we're just gonna fillet the screen with action shots, big dumb CGI shit, to please the kids, and it was So there were parts of that movie that I really liked, but just the overall essence of it just felt kind of annoying to me. Because I didn't like, it's like just trying to make a good movie with good characters, and then, you know, they always talk about building this monster universe and whatever. So, I mean, but there are parts of it I really like, too, like John C. Reilly's character's awesome. It's like, but I don't know. And then, so then this, like, I just felt like, okay, the studio just, like, instead of focusing on making good movies, they just want to make movies with a lot of action in them and a lot of monster shots to please the fans. Which, you know, if that's what you want, that's fine, but that's not really what I'm going for. So when the trailers dropped for this, I was like, okay, like it looks all right, but I wasn't one that I was like, oh, I can't wait to see it, you know. But that being said, what were your thoughts coming out of it?
I was pretty excited for this film. I didn't see a lot of media coverage for it. I think I just saw essentially the trailer or the teaser trailer, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm in.
Yeah, that was a good one. Was that the one with the flags stopping and then changing direction? Was it that one?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had pretty high hopes. I suppose we could, let's just get into it.
Okay.
I thought there were way too many characters in this.
Yeah, there were a lot.
There was, I just like going down the line, and it was too many of like that guys and those girls. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, aside from the top three billing, I mean, you need some sort of human cast in this, but
yeah.
So it's like, okay, Kyle Chandler is fine. Vera Farmiga is I'm weirdly attracted to Vera Farmiga. I don't know why. She's just, I don't know if it's just her weird cultist spiritualism. I think associate her with.
It's probably that combined with her Boston accent and getting plowed by Leo in the Departed.
It's so, yeah. Okay, I'm way in on her.
We figured it out.
Yeah. I've always been weirdly attracted to her, but and then Millie Bobby Brown, which we need to get into later because I have some thoughts.
Great.
Ken Watanabe, great, he's back, awesome. Yeah. And then from here on out, I just thought it was just, I'm like, what are we doing? I'm looking at IMDb right now. Guess how many doctors were in this movie?
I would guess, honestly, 7 at least.
That's really close because I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say that some of these guys were also doctors and we're just not
called doctor.
So Vera Farmiga's character, Dr. Emma Russell.
Yep.
Ken Watanabe, Dr. Ishiro.
Yep.
Z Zhang of House of Flying Daggers. Dr. Alien Chen and Dr. Ling. So she played 2 different characters, I guess.
What?
Yeah, I'm like, so 2 more doctors there. Bradley Whitford, who was, my God, he was.
He stuck out.
He was like one of the Mutos.
Yeah.
Like I felt like he was like Agent Zero, like he had been awakened. Like what? I don't understand. Like he was throwing like 100. His character didn't make sense.
Yeah. It
was so weird. But he was also a doctor. Sally Hawkins, just another one. It's just like, oh, there's the girl from Shape of Water, like another doctor. I'm just gonna go out. He isn't listed as a doctor, but the guy from Thomas Middleditch, the phone commercial guy, who's
the Silicon
on
Valley.
The Silicon Valley. You know what? He's probably a doctor too. Like,
yeah,
that's too many doctors.
Yeah,
and I just, God, it was like, what are we doing here? And it's like one of the soldiers is like Lady Gaga's best friend, and and I'm like, okay, like it's just too much. Charles Dance is in it, and it's just like, God damn, like what is the point? Why did we write so many fucking characters? Like, none of these people have really anything to do, and they're really, like, talented actors. Like,
yeah.
Like, Sally Hawkins, like, she had zero to do in this movie. What was the point? I literally already forgot what Sally Hawkins, like, what her thing was in this movie.
I don't know. She was gone pretty much after the first act, it seemed like.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
She was fine. She was good.
Zhi Zhang, I've loved her in, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, House Flying Daggers. Like, she's incredible in all those. Like, literally zero to do. Like, she's, like, her job in this was just to, like, look awestruck and
yeah,
that
was pretty much it. Yeah, which is so weird. Yeah. I mean, I literally just came from this film. I just saw it, and, like, I mean, I fell asleep through part of it, which, like, never happens unless I'm watching Dune in a theater. But it's like, I wasn't even, like, tired. I was just sitting there, and then it was some big exposition scene between Vera Farmiga and Scary Face guy, and I just cashed out. Like, I just fell asleep for a good 15 minutes, and I didn't miss anything. And it's just like, I did not like this movie. I didn't. That's my hot take. I mean, I don't want to say I hated it, but I mean, it was just like, okay, here's the deal. Godzilla, great character. You know, King Ghidorah played a really good kind of prick asshole dude, right?
King Ghidorah. You like King Ghidorah's performance?
Yeah, he did. It was really good. It was like, that's the King Ghidorah I want. I wanted to be kind of... Exactly. You know, I liked how the other heads kind of talked to each other and helped each other, but they were also like, they're like a fucking snake, and yeah, good performance. And then Mothra, who's just a big dumb idiot character. Like, I like how they twisted that in this movie, and it was like, no, she's like kind of cool or whatever. She was sort of like God, man, this would have been such a good I'm gonna edit this so that this joke sounds like it came really fast. But it was, I lost it.
Do you wanna hear? Yeah, do you wanna hear my thoughts about Mothra?
Sure.
Sure. No, I'm with you. I thought Mothra was probably the closest, like, the closest caricature of, like, a Japanese culture type.
Yes.
Like, they made it very cutesy and gave it this cute but powerful, like some sort of, like, Sailor Moon magical girl type creature type thing, and it's working with Godzilla, obviously. And I thought it was good. Like, but it just God damn, like, the plot is, like, incomprehensible.
It is, and it made I was getting so pissed because I'm like, first of all, you can't project where he's going. You don't know where he's going. You can't just push a button on a computer and be like, oh, it looks like he's going over here. Like, you don't know that until he gets there. And also, why can you monitor his heart? That doesn't make any sense from millions of miles away. And then it just over and over and over. It was just so. I was like, I hate this. But I like the characters. Oh, you want to hear the joke? The joke was they made Mothra. So we're gonna edit this in. So Mothra was basically like a mystical elf character from, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! That card that looks really weak, and then she's just sitting there praying the whole time, but then she actually gives you life points, and as long as she's on the field. So
that's
she's actually
joke.
Sort of. Thank you, man. Wait, I think. Let's see.
So,
does the audience like it?
It's like you're.
Yeah, the audience loved it.
Your wow, it's just always just on point.
It's just spot on, constantly.
Spot on.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so it fell flat, and it just there was nothing there. And Ken Watanabe, like, it's like this is his franchise. Like, he's your headliner at this point, and it's just his character even felt like it felt like he was in a different movie, and he was just looking around like, is this really what I have to deal with? Like, these people are who have to, because I didn't mind his character. Like, it felt like he was significantly dumber in this, you know. But other than that, it was like fine.
I want to see like a slam cut of all of Bradley Whitford's lines. It was just like
it was weird.
It was so stupid.
He said "man" after everything.
It was like, I hope he had his breakfast this morning because he's looking hungry.
Yeah.
Just like,
and then just cuts away.
Dumb as shit.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Can we go ahead and not look this monster straight in the eye now? Like,
yeah.
I've never heard dumber dialogue than every single one of his lines, and I was kind of blown away. And I think he knew the dialogue was dumb, so he's just like, I'm just gonna like,
yeah, probably
just fire these as high heat, throwing 105. I just, yeah.
He was in a whole different movie. I don't know what he was in.
There was a couple of them that were just, it just felt like, I'm like, I don't know what we're doing here, but.
Yeah, and Kyle Chandler was like fine, but I didn't really understand. His character was weird to me. His motivations were like.
Both of them were. Like,
yeah, they
like,
both were, yeah.
All three of the main characters. So Kyle Chandler goes away, and his wife keeps working on Godzilla stuff.
Yeah.
And Millie Bobby Brown, who this might actually propel us into fame, but I thought Millie Bobby Brown was not very good in this movie.
Whoa.
And I'll take the heat. I'll take the social media heat. I'm ready for the Millie Bobby Brown army to come after me, but
it's gonna happen.
Maybe it was the writing, maybe it was the direction, but I just thought that it was a pretty poor performance. I didn't really get it.
The only thing I liked was I was like, her face kind of looks like Vera Farmiga's face, sort of.
It's kind of. It's that I know why she's in the movie because the Stranger Things is just it. Literally, I think she's like one of the maybe 5 most influential like people for teens,
like preteens,
16 and under right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole generation is literally she's like Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
So I understand why she's in it. I don't know, maybe the character was bad, but I didn't understand her motivations. Why did she stay with her mom after her mom unleashed King Ghidorah? I didn't. Then she leaves like a day later, and
then she said she was worried about her mom in the beginning, but then that never played out. But then she still stayed with her, even when she saw her dad, and she wanted to go with her dad before, but then stayed with her and then called her mom a monster and left. But it was like, what were you... I
didn't really understand how that changed the story. Like, she could have been with, like, Bradley Whitford this whole time, and I don't think it really, like, makes a difference. Like, why does it matter who is she with?
Right.
You know? It just seemed like nothing, like, her journey didn't feel really impactful.
Yeah.
So I didn't get it.
Yeah, and I hated the whole...
I liked it in the first one, because it was, like, the first one was very simple. It was like, okay, so there's a soldier, and he's trying to find his wife.
Yep, and that's it. He just wants to get back to her.
And his dad was crazy and knew and wanted to find out what happened to his wife, who died.
Right.
And it was just boom, boom, easy.
Yep.
That's it.
Exactly.
No more plot. Now just the rest of the fucking shit is monsters fighting.
Yep. All in the back.
Which is the best part about this movie. I actually thought like the action was really good.
I did too.
I love that King Ghidorah was like he was like a hurricane.
Yeah.
Like when they'd show him on the
yeah, that totally made
radars,
sense.
It's like there's this giant electrical storm.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it.
Like that was cool as shit.
It was. Yeah, like if we could have just focused, and like Rodan was cool. Like, if we could just focus on the monsters and just have a whole movie like that, it would have been great. But I mean, obviously you need people in it, but it was just, I don't know, it just didn't do it, which sucks, because, like, but I think it's still serviceable, you know? I mean, it's still, like they're gonna make this franchise either way, you know?
Right.
But it's like, I just kind of want a little bit more from it.
Should we get into a little bit? Do you think... How does King Kong comes into this as like a 12-1 underdog, right?
Right. And he's like, 12, I don't know,
15-1.
How are they going to fix the size thing?
I don't understand. Yeah. The size thing is weird. He can't shoot nuclear energy beams out of his mouth. He looks scary.
Yeah, he looks rough. Yeah, but all he does is
maybe he could use like a tool,
stuff.
like a bone or something.
Maybe. I don't know. And like Godzilla, like, as we've set up in the last two, like, he's just there to restore balance, and that's kind of what Kong was doing too. So I'm like, how are they gonna fight each other if they?
Right. It's like Godzilla has to like accidentally step on one of King Kong's like girlfriends, maybe.
Yeah. Or
like
maybe
set off a
something.
I don't know. Like,
I don't know either.
Are they gonna? They could go like full like love triangle. Like, what if it's what if it's? I'm trying to think of who would be like the perfect heroine for Godzilla and King Kong to crone over. Man,
it's tough.
Like, I didn't even. I'm not even. If
there
it's
isn't even
like
anything.
Emma Watson or something.
Oh.
It's like Godzilla. They're both just looking just like forlongingly into her eyes. Like,
that could be, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
so
like
have to fight over her.
I guess Kong just kind of cares.
Wild.
He just sort of cares about his island. So maybe if Godzilla inadvertently destroys it when he's fighting something else, maybe he'll be upset. But but the end of this one, all the monsters bow to him, saying, "Yo, you're the alpha, bro."
He's like, "Oh yeah, man.
Oh, we don't want to fight you."
Right.
So then it's like, well, is Godzilla gonna bring his whole army against Kong? Because Kong can't fight all those dudes.
Right. And it's weird too, because I mean, Godzilla's a great king because for the most part, he just like pretty much just likes to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like Netflix and chill.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as he's the king, these other shitheads aren't really running amok.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, all right, well, you know, the big guy said we got to go take a nap, so that's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna work on that for a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there'll be some sort of like, God, I don't even know. Like
I would just love
gun or some sort of infinity gauntlet.
It's got to be like they gotta
object that.
They need to like
between the two.
They need to like turn it on the military again. It's got to be like we're messing stuff up, we're messing around with stuff, and then Godzilla gets pissed at us because like, well, I don't want to fight Godzilla, you know. And then maybe they try and get Kong to protect us. Or something, or
They're
Kong.
Just like King Kong in like a briefing room, and,
and
we're
like,
just like going
look,
over
man,
like stuff with him.
So we really appreciate your help on this one.
And
just slide over, just a whole room full of bananas. Just like here you go.
You don't understand any of this, do you?
No. Yeah, that'd be tough. Or maybe the other way around. I don't know. It's gonna be hard, but I mean, we're gonna go see that movie though, right? Because like Godzilla's he's just in the ether. Like, there's no way around it. He's gonna be in pop culture forever.
It's just I'm sad that they landed on this pairing. This is just like a bad. Like, if this was professional wrestling, this is just a bad booking, right? Like, these are two baby faces going up against each other. Like, you need a heel. You need King Ghidorah. You need the fucking Undertaker, man.
Yeah. I agree.
You need Stone Cold, and then McMahon comes out and takes away his title and says that your shit Stone Cold. You'll have to earn this back at SummerSlam. You kick out Undertaker, and it's like, fuck yeah, like let's fucking go.
I like that.
Yeah,
idea.
I don't understand. It's like, who are you rooting for? Who are you rooting against? Like,
yeah, it's not clear. Who knows? I certainly do not know.
What gives me hope is that the writing was top notch in this film.
Yeah,
so I'm sure
absolutely.
That
it's we can look forward to more of that in the future. I don't know. It's just like this is just kind of like worst case scenario for me, especially for like franchise movies. It's like you almost would. I would much rather have like a Batman and Robin effect, just like a forest fire that's just so awful and atrocious that you just have to start from scratch and just do everything completely different. But the worst thing to be sometimes is to be like Jay Cutler, just be good, better than the Field, but not good enough to get you over the hump. You
want to completely burn down the forest and watch Robert Pattinson grow up again.
That's exactly right.
And take over the reins.
So it's like with this, it's like there are enough good parts, like the monsters and everything still worked, and that's the most important part. But then it's just other dumb stuff that's just annoying and you don't care, but it's still going to happen, and it's like successful enough to keep moving. So it's like, well, I guess we'll just keep having this to look forward to time after time. But I don't know. I feel like I'm sort of out on Godzilla until like they reinvent it again.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm still going to see him, but I don't care, and I don't know if I will care,
Right. I don't blame you there. My final question. Do you think, and you know these categories better than me, I kind of instantly forget like the second the Oscars are over.
Sure.
But what is like the Oscar for like the crazy sound noises in a movie?
So
is that sound mixing?
That would be sound editing.
Editing?
Because
is that sound editing?
Sound mixing is the layers of sound. So it's this sound layered with this sound and this sound and this sound and this sound.
Okay.
Sound editing would be the physical where you put each of those sounds. So I think that would probably fall. I would guess it would fall under sound mixing or sound editing. If it was sound mixing, it'd be that roar with like the reverberations off the buildings and the echoes and whatever. So just that roar itself, I think, would probably be sound editing. Final answer.
Okay. Good. Final answer. Do you think it has a chance? I thought the monster noises were incredible.
They were.
I was like, holy shit!
Like
King Ghidorah sounds like a screaming fire hydrant crossed with a liger.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Like a liger lizard crypto being. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it was perfect.
This is cool.
And like Mothra sounded like innocent, but also
super kawaii.
But super kawaii. Yes, very. I
wanted
kawaii.
to marry Mothra.
Kawaii.
I said Mothra was best girl.
Yeah, she's definitely number one best girl. And like Godzilla, that sounded like the normal Godzilla sound, but just I don't know. How do you know what they used to make that sound? I don't.
have no idea. I think they have to create a Philosopher's Stone, which requires human sacrifice on a great level, and then they release all of that power into one studio mixing session.
I understand.
Is that right?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Does that sound right?
Yep, absolutely.
I think I read that.
Sometimes it's better not to know how the sausage is made. That's all.
Yes.
So what would it take to get you back in to this franchise? I mean, I don't know. Are you out? Do you not care like me?
So I really don't care about Godzilla versus King Kong.
I know.
I just don't see. There has to be like some sort of thing to tip the balance. Like if King Kong, if they give King Kong like a giant like machine gun, maybe, I don't know. I'm just like trying to think of things that would make it more like even. But It just seems to me it's like when like Krillin fights like I don't know, like Vegeta or Frieza or something.
Right.
It's just like what are we doing here? We're pretty much just like killing time until Goku shows up, right?
Yeah.
Or like Yamcha. I won't say
Yamcha.
I won't say King Kong, he deserves better. He's not a Krillin, but he's a solid Yamcha. Yamcha,
so much worse.
Maybe Piccolo, right?
Yeah, I mean, he could be Piccolo. Piccolo is underrated, I feel like, but still...
Because Piccolo has his moments where you're, like, he's always kind of the last guy to fight before Goku, and you're like, holy shit.
You're like,
Piccolo's so strong.
You're like, I forgot how strong Piccolo is.
He merges with Kami. Like, maybe there's another ape that's been watching Earth from the skies above, and they fuse together, and they like double their strength.
Yeah. I like that idea.
It's gotta there's gotta be something. Maybe he fuses with like the Rock, and he becomes that much bigger. I don't know.
Yeah.
So right now it's just the booking. It's a bad booking.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a lot for me to get hype.
What if they merged the Fast and the Furious with it? Like, what if the Fast and the Furious think they have to take down Godzilla, so they go to team up with Kong, and they go get like a really big trailer and put him on it?
That's actually more. That's actually more interesting. Like Dom Toretto versus Godzilla. Like I actually think like Dom Toretto. He's
stands
like
a better
an 8-1 underdog, whereas like King Kong on his own is like 12-15-1 at least.
Yeah. Wow.
I could double check those odds. I could look at my overseas books, but I'm saying that Dom Toretto and his crew comes in and Dom Toretto and I need a few good guys. Yeah. At least 2 that can drive. Just get him and a couple drivers, and he's the odds are. It's like John Wick. He's like, I'd say the odds are about even. Like,
yeah. What do you think?
Dom Toretto and his crew.
What do you think the odds are? Speaking of odds, that on the next movie, in the first act, we might open with it. It opens on some remote jungle cabin, and a team of doctors and or SWAT people are opening the door, and there's some hermitage older guy with a scruffy beard who
MacGruber.
Exactly, the MacGruber scene.
Exactly.
What are the chances that we have a MacGruber scene? This we say, he was the best lizard expert in this side of the Mississippi, or he's the best ape expert we've ever seen, but he was cast off by his comrades because his ideas were too radical. Now we got to get him on our side. He was right this whole time.
He's too forward thinking about giant 3-foot story.
Exactly.
He's like, get out of here with those.
That's crazy talk.
Ideas.
Yeah.
You're insane.
Get out of my sight. You're a disgrace.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna happen, right?
I mean, that's basically what they were saying to Ken Watanabe.
Yeah.
They were like, you're fucking insane, man.
Yeah.
Like, let them fight. What?
Yeah.
We need to kill them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I love it.
I mean, that's just gonna happen. Well, so to close out here, would you recommend people to go see this movie?
Sure. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to.
It's fine. It's not, like, openly bad.
Yeah, it definitely puts up some garbage stats.
It's just okay.
Yep.
And we're in that kind of summery phase. We're moving through it where it's gonna these types of movies are gonna start coming out, and maybe want to wait for the next one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is whatever.
I mean, if you just want a Godzilla movie, it feels like a Godzilla movie. the monsters are good in it. If you just want like a dumb summer action movie, this can do that for you. So
right. I mean, you essentially, like you said, you can pretty much power nap through and you rely on like Rodin's like flapping like death wings or King Ghidorah's stifling scream to wake you up. It's like it's like your like alarm clock in the morning. It's like, oh, it must be something happening. Like,
in fact,
here we go. Like,
in fact, that might be the best way to watch it, just to sleep through all the human speak, and then when the monsters scream, then you can wake up and
it's
start
like
to watch.
A sleeping slam cut of the film would be great.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
It's probably less confusing that way. You won't,
absolutely.
You won't be dumbstruck by what's going on.
You won't be
characters' motivations here.
Right.
But,
you won't be burdened by terrible dialogue.
Correct. So Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Not King of Monsters. Yeah. So on that note, that's it. That's all we got. So you can check us out. Find me on Twitter at LukeLarson89. This podcast at L2 Podcast on Facebook, at L Squared Podcast on Twitter, and on Instagram. We got to put up our review now on Instagram too. That's where we put all our reviews up, our official
I feel like I know what's coming.
Well, we'll have to tune in. We don't know for sure. And then find the podcast on YouTube, and then obviously on SoundCloud here too at L Squared Podcast. Patreon. We've been asked a lot of questions about this, and most people just want to. The main question that I've seen at least is can we give?
Where do I send the check?
Right. Can I send?
That's what I've been getting a lot.
That one. So that's just going to be to just DM us, and we'll send you the address. And then also people have been asking, can I pay more than the $57,000 a month? And the answer is yes. I mean, just don't ask, just do it. If you could, just do like a blank check, and then we'll just, because we really know better than you, so we kind of know what our expenses have to be.
Correct.
So if you just kind of leave that open, it's just easier on our end to get everything rolling. But you guys can definitely make suggestions about what you want for Patreon levels. You can make suggestions all you want.
Right.
I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's going to change anything, but
we've. I think we're having a lot of success as far as I've been borrowing a lot from just the Scientology method of you're working your way towards enlightenment and becoming a level 9 zone priest.
And by working your way through, that means literally paying your dues.
Well, I mean it's part of it, but
we don't want to lose focus here.
The knowledge that you will attain,
right?
To unlock the hidden Thetans.
Right. Because at one
L.
point,
Hubbard and his mystic grand star children ingrained in you thousands and thousands of years ago. How are you supposed to know any of this? Well, go to patreon.com/L-Squared-Podcast, and you can get you on your way to enlightenment.
Yep.
Enlightenment through audio waves and movie reviews and total dominance over your peers. Promising too much here, are we?
No, I mean, I think that, there's an old saying, you get what you pay for. And, if you want enlightenment and you want those movie reviews, and then some more enlightenment on top of that, it's like...
You want to be my PA.
Right. That's another level.
DM me.
Please, someone DM me. Yeah, and at some point you're going to realize that...
at least 2 PAs.
Yeah, per episode. We're going to... The thing is, once you subscribe to this, you're going to know that very quickly you're going to realize that money's just an object. It doesn't mean anything. So it doesn't really matter how much you give as long as it's at least, the amount that I'm telling you.
Doesn't buy happiness.
Right.
Except when it does.
Except when you're spending that money on L Squared Podcast Patreon.
It does buy happiness.